What's going on, everyone? Who's here so far? Let yourselves be known in the chat. We got some fun stuff to talk about today. So, guys, we're going to talk about Carolina. I just want to let more people in. Hey, good morning to you, too. So as people continue to come in here, we're going to get started. We're going to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. We'll talk about what's going on in Carolina. Kim's here. Hey, Kim. So I'm just going to give it a little while. So I want people to come in. So we'll talk about Carolina. Do any of you guys have any questions about what you think is going on in Carolina with the federal government, with FEMA? Mayorkas just came out and said that FEMA is broke, but we could send $200 billion to Ukraine, but FEMA is broke and they can't help. The mayor refused help from the government, and no one's getting any help in Carolina. The only people that are helping are people like you and me, people, just regular old people, not the government. Abel, we'll get into that in a minute. The doctor's here. Good morning. All right. What's going on, bitches? Ukraine and Israel appreciate your emergency funds for themselves. There's a reason. All right, so I got people in this chat now. All right, so check this out. Why are they not helping in North Carolina? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, there is a lithium vein or a lithium mountain in Carolina. And BlackRock very recently spent $90 million for access to that. What you're basically dealing with is, Matthew right here has got it, the lithium and the quartz. What's so special about the quartz? Well, they make silicone chips. The future of computing. So why are they not helping out in North Carolina? Well, they want access. The government wants to eminent domain that land and set it up to remove quartz and lithium. And that's the real reason. Now, that's really no different than why we were in it is a land grab, guys. That's what it is. It's a land grab. And what you're going to see, because this is all so predictable at this point, what you're going to see is you're going to see them try to eminent domain. And then what you're going to see is people that don't want to sell their land, they're either just going to have it taken, or these people are going to get pounded in the news because they're going to turn the media against them for not selling. Also heard that Asheville is on a list for a 15-minute city. Yeah. So let's see what else we have here. So the quartz is for quartz crucibles for silicone chips. It's the only place in the world they can get it to. I don't think North Carolina is the only place they can get it, but they definitely do have it there, and that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And y'all need to be aware of what's really going on over there. Enclosure of the land. Yep. The Hillbilly Revolt. Is that talking about J.D. Vance, right? Because he wrote that book, The Hillbilly Elegy, I think. Lahaina 2.0. So, guys, I wanted to let you guys know that that's why you're not going to get any government assistance. They only gave everyone $750 to the people who were most displaced. From what I've heard, talking to people from Carolina, there are bodies in trees, there are bodies in mud, there are bodies in the car, there are bodies everywhere, and they're not removing them. The government doesn't want to remove them. This is they're just using money to leverage. Paradise, California. The quartz at the quality and manufacturing of it is the best in the world. They can get other places, but they already have it set with manufacturing. Well, there you go. Nothing's going to stop this right now. All these people are going to be displaced. They can't rebuild their homes. Insurance isn't going to do anything. It's just, it's all a lie. It's a comfortable lie. And they're doing all this stuff because they don't care about you. And the government never has. So stop voting these idiots in. Just stop voting. Just stop voting. Yes, people will still get put in, but I mean, if you vote, then you reap what you sow. Whereas if you don't, then you're able to contradict and go against what they're saying. Organize and protest. Yes. So that's really what's happening. They're actually stopping. There have been talks about slash tires when they're trying to go help these people. Their tires are getting slashed. It's insane. You know, you've got from the mountains of North Carolina, you've got motherfuckers loading up donkeys full of supplies and going down there. Remember, coal mining areas are the poorest areas in the country. Well, how else would you get people to coal mine? If you had a choice, you're not trying to get black lung. I have a friend that's a welder in a coal mine. It's crazy stuff, guys. But yeah, that's going to become a job site for mining lithium. You guys ever seen what a lithium mine looks like? You're talking about the on the earth. I'm just trying to show you guys what a lithium mine looks like because you have to see what kind of damage it does. What kind of damage this shit does. It's insane. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see? This is a lithium mine. Do you see how much damage it does to the earth to do this? And they want every car electric in the United States. Good fucking luck. Huge holes. Exactly. So this is what we're looking at, guys. That's a lithium mine. Every ton of mined lithium results in 15 tons of CO2 emissions to the environment. In addition, it is estimated that 500,000 liters of water are needed to mine approximately 2.2 million liters per ton of lithium. This substantially impacts the environment, leading to water scarcity in already arid regions. Hmm. And if you go type in lithium mine on Google, not the first, but the second hyperlink is something called Carolina Lithium. It's a proposed multi-phase, fully integrated lithium project in Gaston County, North Carolina. Is that where the where it hit, guys? With mining and yeah. It's insane, guys. I don't know what to tell you, but like we live in a very all people care about is money. All people care about is money. Coal mine areas, they made the poorest in the country when it should have been much richer. People didn't give up the land. The lithium mining leaves dead earth behind too. Yep. So it was a man-made hurricane, a direct hit, so to speak. Well, one second. My friend Carrie said, people need to know in a training class my client put on, they are talking about all the lithium mining in North Carolina because they are training on EVs, electric vehicles. Is there any place to be left to be? Is there any place left to live to be left the fuck alone? Yeah, that's what the Unabomber tried to do. Kaczynski in the shed in his little cabin. Um, Epstein Island is probably the safest place on the world right now. Um, I don't know. I don't know. See, this is the thing. This is so Abel. Check this out, man. This is what we talk about the illusion of security, right? Because you think that you've got a Ring doorbell and you've got storm shutters and you've got all this stuff to protect you, right? And your family. And then something like this happens out of nowhere. Maybe it was created. I need more information on how it was created because I do know that they have plans. I mean, Ukraine got billions, Iran got billions, Israel got billions, but Mayorkas warns FEMA doesn't have enough funding to last through hurricane season. This is like if your father was a drunk gambler and just didn't know when to quit and put the family into debt. That's what's going on here. The government spends all their money and then they tell you, and then you know what? You get mad for a minute, but then something else distracts you. A new news story will come in and you'll forget about it. Good morning. Hi, Jay. JD. Yeah, go to Epstein Island, dude. No one will bother you. Agree illusionary, yes. I just met left alone by government. It's the illusion. It's the illusion. No matter where you are, this is the thing. People work so hard in school. This is the thing about America that people don't realize that Europe has above America. And as somebody who spent time in Europe growing up, a lot of time in Europe, I can tell you one thing. People are only good at one thing in this country. It's what they've been taught to do to make a living. Whereas in Europe, they have multiple talents. So your plumber might also be an electrician or a car mechanic or things of that nature. But in America, it's what you study, and then you have to use that degree to find a job, right? Even if you get a job and you think it's safe, so you're going to have children, you think everything's going to be safe, nothing is guaranteed in this world. Nothing is guaranteed in this world. The only thing we can do is expose the evil and continuously expose the evil. And they don't like that. And they can go fuck themselves, to be perfectly honest with you. They need attention. That's why they can't leave you alone. Exactly. But this is why you don't vote. Don't vote. Don't give them any attention. It's your drunk gambling dad that steals from you. Exactly. This is your drunk gambling dad that takes out credit cards in your baby's name and then runs them up. Angela Cadeau, my soul is tired. Yeah, me too. Cadeau in French means present. I don't know if you know that. Cadeau is a present in French. Hey, Micah, Harmony. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. I don't recognize you. What's going on? All right, y'all. So we're talking this North Carolina thing, right? So, I mean, I've had people tell me that based on what happened in Maui with the blue roofs and everything, like things are going on. What is the first thing that they did? You know that Oprah bought up like 870 acres in Maui, right? They just buy the land. To be honest with you, this is how warfare is going to be fought in the future. Eventually, they're not going to send as many soldiers and troops to go fight. What they're going to do is they're just going to send a hurricane or something to blow it off. Now, most of the stuff is happening in the Middle East. So that'll be interesting because there's no real earthquakes. There's no real tornadoes. There's no real hurricanes. So how are they going to do it? I don't know. What do you guys think, man? What is this? What is the key to get out of this? You know, it just expose, guys. Expose. Go online and expose. You know, you don't all have to be up here talking like me. If you don't want to be seen, that's fine. I understand that. But you need to expose this stuff. Because being silent is being complacent. So there's a lot going on. My big surprise is happening in 33 days. I know 33, right? So I'm 33. So I'm evil because I'm using 33, right? People think that the 33, the reason it's so occultic, has to do because masonry has 33 degrees. So they think everything is tied to masonry, but that's not it. 33 is actually the number of vertebrae that you have. And your 33rd is right here in your brain. Your 33rd is right here. Your skull, your spine goes into your brain. You guys know that, right? So at the 33rd bone, that's where the pineal gland is. That's where the sacred oil goes up. Goddess Tunu. Hey, Goddess, I see you here yesterday, and you're here today. So how are you? How did you find me and my work? Just wondering. My girl's in the room. I'm just here to look at the gorgeous eyes of my handsome husband. Very sweet. Thank you, sweetie. I create memes. I do too. I create memes all the time. But then you know what happens? I end up not sending them because I haven't learned how to watermark anything yet. You started at 42, I think. What do you mean by 42? Oh, I started at 42 for the days, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sacred number. Keeping informed and sharing with others. So many are becoming aware. Love it. That's right, Sarah. When it becomes a crime for exposing a crime, you know you're being run by criminals. Edward Snowden. Love Snowden. My book series, my main character's name is Graham Newsden, and Newsden is an anagram for Snowden. Most of my books, the characters are anagrams, and if you could figure out who the anagram actually represents in real life, my book series tells a whole different story when you realize the names of the characters that I've hidden in there. My book series, Into the Rabbit Hole, I would suggest you guys get it. Have any of you guys gotten it? Have any of you read it? Can you leave some comments? Let me know what you think. Nikki's here. And Denise is here. Change their language, climate change. Well, yeah, they changed their language. Guys, we've seen in real time now, real time, how they're editing Webster's dictionary. And in 50 years, no one will know any different. They're changing things in real time, and we're allowing them to go through it and do it. Climate change equals climax change. Make it laughable. Yeah, I've had some category threes before. I got it. I got it book, and we'll start it today. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Fantastic. All right, guys, help me out. Help me out here. We've got, you know what? Let me show you. Hold on. I'm in my presentation right now. Just give me a hot sec. I'm going to pee real quick, but when I get back, I'm going to show you 2 Sumerian tablets that I've recently done with astrotheology. I'm going to show you this. Nick, I got your book Beneath the Veil. Nick, what did you think, brother? You know, it's an 8-book series, right? So it continues. The story continues, and it keeps uncovering things and teaching people the kind of stuff that I do, like in my truth bombs. So these are 2 short Sumerian tablets. I'm going to read them, but there's some interesting patterns that it makes that I want to show you. So just give me like a hot sec. Y'all. Okay. All right. So found you from Santos, watched all your videos. I'm glad whenever I find you on live. First time yesterday. I'm from the UK. I love all you do. Aw. Thank you, goddess. Many such cases, people finding me through Santos. They want the landowners dead so they could steal the land for mineral rights. There's a lithium under the Carolinas, just like East Palestine. Doing to them what they did in Lahaina, Hawaii. Well, that just sums it all up, Susie Q. Yeah. Yeah. The question now becomes, not only can they cause a hurricane, but can they guide one too? That is going to be the question now, guys. Can they guide a hurricane? Do they know? We know HARP exists. We know weather modification. Shit, I wrote about weather modification 12 years ago. We know about weather modification. We know that in China, for example, during the Olympics, they blew all the clouds away. We know that they can do that. We know about cloud seeding. We know about all this kind of stuff. It's really sad what's happening to these people, guys. It's really sad. If any of you guys have a charity or a fund or something that will help these people, please put it in the comments so that I could share it publicly. Dot man, Micah, down in from Dublin. Wow, Dublin. My sister lives in Dublin. Dublin, Dublin, Dublin. I'd love to go to Ireland one day. I'm not much of a drinker, though, so I think I would be awake when everyone's sleeping. But yeah, full spectrum dominance. Okay, guys, so let's just do a little astrotheology today since I've got a lot of people in here. We are being attacked by alien gods. We were told are gods. Some are bipedal and live on the moon. I do believe there is. See, it's funny because, like, did we never go to the moon? Did we go to the moon? Obviously, smart money will tell you that these people who supposedly did this 50, 60 years ago to go to the moon, or 55 years ago, I should say, the people that went to, is it realistic that they did that? No, it's not realistic. They lost all the shipping materials that NASA sent to go to the moon. They lost the ability to make it. So imagine a technology, guys, that we used to have, but we don't have anymore in our current consciousness. But then you hear things that there's bases on the moon, that we've been to the moon, that we can, hyper travel, things of that nature. Both sides make equally good points. And I'm just sitting here for all of it. My sister lives in Dublin too. That's right. Good. Seeing it live on TV. I'm late, but I'm here. My mom had an indie and said there are people on the moon. She just knew it. It's possible. It's really possible. But what are things that are going to help you see that? Pictures? Well, pictures can be doctored now. Like, how would we ever truly know? But anyway, let's go on to these two. So this is Inanna, Descent to the Nether World. These are two short tablets, okay? So I'm going to read you let's call it scripture, even though it's just words. Let's call it the scripture lines. She took the 7 divine powers. She had placed twin egg-shaped beads on her breast. After 3 days and 3 nights had passed, and the other the life-giving water. They will offer you a river full of water. They will offer you a field with its grain. They eat no fish. The 7 of them poured the milk. They would not let the shepherd play the pipe. He turned his feet into snakes' feet in the beer house and the tavern. Okay? The 7 divine powers are the 7 sisters of the Pleiades. That's in Taurus. The twin is Gemini. These are connecting signs. The life-giving water is Aquarius. The river full of water is Pisces. These are connecting signs. The field and the grains are Virgo. Pisces and Virgo are opposing signs. The fish is Pisces as well. The milk comes from the Milky Way galaxy, whose center is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius and Gemini are opposing signs. The shepherd is Aries. So far, we have Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. That's 5 signs in a row. The snake is Ophiuchus, which sits in sidereal between Scorpio and Sagittarius. The beer house is Virgo. So you got 7 signs in this. 5 in a row. Enki's journey to Nibiru. Nibiru, N-I-B-R-U, not Nibiru. Its eaves roar like a bull. Your lock has no rival. Your bolt is a fearsome lion. Your roof beams are the bull of heaven. Your vault is a bull raising its horns. Your door is a lion who seizes a man. Your staircase is a lion coming down on a man. Rising sea without a rival. Mighty awe-inspiring river which terrifies the land. A lion in the midst of the Abzu. The Suher harp play among the honey herbs. Enki had oxen slaughtered and had sheep offered there lavishly. Enki reached for the beer and had emmer wheat beer pressed out. The bull is Taurus, the bull of heaven. They keep talking about the bull of heaven, guys. It's so obvious. The lion is Leo. The man is Aquarius. Aquarius and Leo are opposing signs. The carp is Pisces, and the honey is the beehive cluster in Cancer. Aquarius and Pisces are connecting signs. The sheep is Aries. Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus are 4 signs in a row. The beer wheat is Virgo. Virgo and Pisces are opposing signs. Leo and Virgo are connecting signs. Cancer and Leo are connecting signs. Cancer, Leo, Virgo are 3 signs in a row. So Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Pisces, Cancer, Aries, Virgo. The ship is Cancer to Scorpio. Missing Gemini, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. But now, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Capricorn is what's missing. This one has 9 zodiac signs in it. But Gemini, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. Check out the wheel, guys. Let me open it a little bit more for you. Check this wheel out, guys. You've got Capricorn and Sagittarius. Those are connecting signs. Sagittarius and Gemini are opposing signs. So in this particular tablet, the Nibiru tablet, let me get back to it. Enki's journey to Nibiru, right? There's patterns in the missing signs too, not just the actual signs. So we had 9 signs here. And then you had the missing signs of Capricorn. So we didn't have a goat. We didn't have a horse or a man on a horse, bow and arrow, something of that nature. And we didn't have twins. So Gemini and Sagittarius are opposing signs, and Capricorn and Sagittarius are connecting signs. So even the missing signs form patterns. Do you see how layered this is? This is a Sumerian tablet, guys. So I wanted you guys to know that for the last 2 that I've showed you, because I'm starting to see patterns in missing ones now too, and that takes planning if you're going to write something like this. All right, let's see what we got in the comments. Please look at the 30 by 30 project, Wildlands project on sustainable development goals in 2030. We entered the age of Aquarius in February. Since February, well, here's the thing though. we're going into Aquarius, but we're in a 432. Again, 432 is a harmonic frequency, guys. 432 year period of transition. Remember, so you have the zodiac wheel, guys, right? And it's 25, 9, 20 is the great year. Divide it by 12, you get 2160, right? Divide that by 10, you get 216 years. 216 years is a cusp. That's how much a cusp is, 216 years. A cusp in our year-to-year day and energetically transmitting information is 3 days. It's the last 3 days of a month and the first 3 days of a month. So there's 6 out of 30, right? 6 out of 60, sorry, because you have 2 months. You have the beginning of one and the end of another, which transmits into them. Anyway, so what you do is you take this 216, you multiply it by 2, because the cusps have 2 signs. And then you get 432. That's 432 years that we're going to be stuck in this bullshit of religion being gotten rid of, basically, and moving into the age of knowing as opposed to the age of belief. We are on the Brushy Mount in North Carolina. It's been crazy. Have never seen anything like this. Jen, are you okay, Jen? Are you guys okay? Let me know. Interesting. Jennifer Piedmont, mine will destroy the mountains. Do you do tarot readings too? I don't. I don't do astrology charts either. I am a cusp. I am a cusp too. In 1888, the believed. Why can't I read that? In 1888, the believed was the beginning of Aquarian age, according to Thomas Burgoyne. If you were to go to the equator on March 21st, the spring equinox, you go to the equator and you watch the sunrise. And you watch the sunrise. The sign behind the sun on that particular day is the age we're living in. Rex Bear did this recently when I told him how to do it. He went there, and it still shows that we're transitioning out of Pisces. We're still dealing with this stagnant last 2,000 years of religion bullshit. Have you ever collaborated with someone who studies one of the other sciences to see if the patterns connect somehow? Oh, yes. I've done some stuff with, and I have to have him back on, but he's just been so busy. Garrett King and the 1111 Matrix. Numerology, you see it there. Yeah, everything is connected, guys. Everything is very simple when you look at it in a specific way. If things are complicated in the world, it's because they're not being done the right way. Because everything is made to fit together. And what we're seeing is the chaos of people not fitting it together. I would have never thought of the ones that were missing. Turn off the... Thanks, Jamie. No more religions. Yep. We got power back Tuesday, communications on Monday. Are you flooded? Do you need any supplies? Can I make a post for you? I won't do it if it'll embarrass you or if you don't want me to, but I can make a post on Facebook to help if you need it. Raven's here. What's up, bud? Raven, I gotta come back on your show, man. Perfect circle. Eat the elephant. Goodbye. Thanks for all the fish. Nikki Wicks, I haven't seen you in a minute, brother. How are you doing, my friend? Nikki is he's a musician. He's got a hell of a voice. I hope you're doing good, brother. I should have you back on. How's the music coming along? No, we are good. Okay, Jen, just making sure, okay? What is our takeaway from the patterns we're seeing? The patterns in what? The world? In my work? What do you mean, Denise? I'm flying, bro. Thriving. How are you? I'm good, brother. Nikki, I'm doing real good, man. We should message me on Instagram. We should talk. I'd like to catch up, see how you've been. I think I had you on my channel a while back and you did an Otis Redding song. I can't remember which song it was though, but I think that's what it was. I didn't lose power, but comms were out from Friday to Tuesday around me. Roads out, power, and comms still out. They don't have any clue how many dead yet. Wow. I've been hearing that there are dead bodies in the trees. I've been hearing there's dead bodies in cars that are drowned, in the mud, and that the government doesn't want to remove them. Now, why would they do that? I've uninstalled Instagram and TikTok, but I got WhatsApp. Well, that's probably good for you. Nikki, message me. You can, yeah, message me on WhatsApp. Anyway, guys, so to spread disease, that's one way. Susie Q, do you want to come on and talk with me about this? If I send, let me just hold on. And if you come on my channel, you don't have to be on camera. This is the link, guys. How do I get in contact with you? I don't think I have your number. Nikki, email me into the rabbit hole series at gmail.com. I don't want to post my phone number public. But guys, this is the StreamYard link that I have down here. Any one of y'all want to come up here and talk? Boom, I'll give you a space. Come on. We got a nice large crowd in here today. Let's do this thing. Come on, somebody come up. All you got to do is click on that link I sent you, put it in the browser, and then I'll add you to the stream. That's all you got to do. Yeah, I know you're shy, Susie, but you've got some really good information. That's what my girl tells me too. I'm like, can I interview you? You're so interesting. And she's like, I'm shy. It's okay. So it's not for everyone. I'll be getting all yours as gift and for self-reading. Danny, if you want to get them through me, I just got a bunch of signed copies. I'll sell you the series. I'll sign them all. I'll personalize one of them if you want. Just reach out to me and let me know when you're ready. And we'll work this out. Susie. Remember who the Ellies are names of faces. Not sure what you mean by that. All right, Nikki, thanks, man. I'll reply to you with my phone number, and then you just find me on WhatsApp. No, I never put the phone up. I have a house full and no way to get on right now. Yeah, Danny. So listen, into the rabbit hole series at gmail.com. Email me. Email me. I know a lot of people try and sell you what it is they have made, whether it's like a trinket or a book or something. I'm an astrotheologer, but I'm also an author. And my book series talks about all these esoteric sciences, the hidden truths about the world, and everything in a storyline function. You're going to see the parallels as you read my books between what's in the book versus what's in real life. It's like if I took 1984 and mixed it with Da Vinci Code, is basically what I did with my book series. And it was super fun to write. And I have a 9th book that I'm going to write soon. But I pitched this to you guys just because I've been doing this for 12 years. I wrote my first book 12 years ago. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't even remember that's like deeply encoded stuff that you guys should know. The books aren't expensive, guys. You can go through me and get them signed, or you can go through Amazon. They're like $16. I mean, instead of getting what, like 3 beers, just get a book and learn what's really going on. It's just, I'm not really sure how to push my books, guys, if I'm just laying on with you, if I'm just being honest with you guys and just shooting the shit. I don't really know how to pitch my books because I don't want to feel like I'm pushing it onto you. But at the same time, I need to convey how important the information in the books are to your continued knowledge. If you follow me for information, this is something that you should do, is get the book series. I hope people are documenting this in Treasury law enforcement. Yep. Remember, everyone, if it's not wet, don't lick it. Thanks, Nikki. Raven getting love. Will do. You need a professional email. I use Titan email for my business account. No, because when I blow up, I want to have like, my email's going to be like magic_69@gmail.com. And I'm going to make people communicate with me that way. I already have. That's just book 1. Okay. I mentioned LE printing relief efforts by private citizens under threats of arrest and bullets. Yeah, media is a great liar on mission. Dude, what about the school shooting in was it Uvalde, Texas, where the parents wanted to go in and get the kids and they were stopped by the police and the police were too scared to go in? Everything is an act. Everything is an act out there. And you can start poking holes in the stories immediately, and that's what they don't want you to do. That's why they hate social media. It's because people just poke holes in it right away, and they're like, wow, I didn't think of it that way. That actually kind of makes sense. Yeah. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're not it's what Jordan Maxwell used to say, guys. The police aren't there to protect you. The only one that actually do their jobs are the firemen, but that wasn't always the case. You guys know that Julius Caesar, before he was emperor, he was a fire marshal. And what would happen is if people didn't pay to have their house protected, their houses would burn down. And that's what he presided over before he joined into politics. Remember that. What is going to happen from here to the elections with this muscle power war? Couple things. Number one, you're going to see a complete, since Iran attacked Israel, to be honest, they didn't even do much damage. I think one person died and they were Palestinian. That barrage of bullets, it didn't do anything. There's the other thing too, is the Iron Dome fake, because it obviously didn't work. What is going to happen from here to the elections with this muscle power war? Well, you're going to see Congress, including the Democrats who are pro-Palestine, pivot hard to Israel. You're going to see a hard pivot to Israel to help Israel out. And they're watching this carefully. That's why none of them are making moves. Because what you guys don't seem to really understand is under Trump, Russia didn't do anything. North Korea didn't do anything. Trump walked into North Korea. For the first person since that soldier defected like 30 years ago and went to live there forever. There's a lot that's going to happen. But mostly what you're going to see is just the same old bullshit. You're going to see distractions, guys. Distractions after distractions after distractions. There's even talk that they generated this Hurricane Helene because to get everybody off P. Diddy's cock. Just very easy to change the direction of the collective unconscious, isn't it, guys? Word of mouth. Word. Michael, law enforcement. Remember who with pics, video in any way possible is keeping others from helping? Yeah. Yeah. All books contain coded information. Not like this. I promise you. Not like this. It's going to be fun to figure it out. And you know how I know that people can figure it out? Because I was talking to a girl at one point who figured out all the anagrams. So it is possible. It's a treasure hunt, guys. It's a treasure hunt. I listened to Tori Mara's on Telegram, and she is so informed. October is going to be busy, Tori says, Telegram. Let's show you what I showed you yesterday. Oh, that's not the right word. Hold on. I just want to keep putting this out there, guys. Just want to keep sharing this. Okay? Why do they always crash the stock market in Libra? Now. That's October. Panic of 1907, October 1907. Teddy Roosevelt, president, Republican. Wall Street crash of 1929, October 24th, 1929. Handover date to Scorpio. Herbert Hoover, president, Republican. Black Monday, October 19th, 1987. Ronald Reagan, Republican. Friday the 14th mini crash, October 13th, 1989. George H.W. Bush, Republican. Stock market downturn of 2008, 2002, George W. Bush, October 9th, 2002. 10% in most of the world's indices crash, handover date to Scorpio, October 24th, 2008. So if we're looking at this pattern, guys, which is undeniable, and what are the chances, by the way? We need to have a president in power, and we need to crash the markets in Libra. But they're not going to crash the markets here. You know, BlackRock, the company BlackRock, right? BlackRock has an AI program called Aladdin. And Aladdin is so encompassing and powerful that it actually sets market changes. It doesn't follow them or decipher patterns. It sets them. So a lot of crazy stuff going back on that. But yeah, so you're looking at, it's got to be a Republican president. It has to be in October. Next year, maybe, if Trump gets in office. Notice that we don't really have massive stock market crashes when a Democrat's in president. And this is just a pattern, guys. I don't care one way or another. Raven and Micah would be a fun conversation to have. I have talked to Raven before. I've done his show. I'm going to come back on, though. He's going to invite me. Watch. I'll push books in your vids. Raven, we've talked before, man. Listen, you've got my social media. Anytime you ever want to do an interview. I'm all for it. I've got stuff. I already shared you on my community page. Thank you, Danny. What did you say? I hope only good things. Magic underwear. Yeah. Magic underwear 69 at gmail.com. They're honestly really well written. I've only made it up to 3, but not for lack of interest. I'm sure you've got stuff going on in your life. What do you like most about it, Sam? To be honest, like the humor or the cryptograms, the anagrams, Sam. What do you like most about the stories? Because I'm setting to write my 9th one, and I kind of want to know which direction to go into. So I've been asking people. But thank you. I really hope they make you laugh. I really hope that you get to learn a lot from them. I know if you're up to 4, you have already realized what I'm trying to do with my series. I just want to know what your favorite part is. Your book made me cry. Why? Wait, if you're gonna spoil anything, just say I'm gonna spoil something because I think I know what you're about to say. In 2020, I went to Invictus Academy. That sounds familiar. Why do I know Invictus Academy? I know that. Tell me more. Take care, Nikki. I'll reply to your email. Kim hasn't read the last 2 books. Kim, you too. What did you think was what did you like most about my books? Because I poured my heart and soul into them. Just an actor psyop, okay? We watched videos of Parkland Pew Pew. You want to talk about an inside job? That definitely is. I wish you could see how the. Oh, yeah. The law enforcement. I'll tell you this much right now. I have a friend that is in the Secret Service that guards Trump at Mar-a-Lago. It's been crickets. I haven't heard anything from him. I reached out to him and I haven't heard anything back. I think they're not allowed to talk about anything. But I'll see him at some point. So, is Israel ISIS Ra-El mission control? What do you mean by that? Myself and majority of my closest do not expect elections this year. Absolutely do not expect any changing of the DC stream. Guys, I just want you to know is that if we're ready to pivot to like a civil war, or if we're ready to pivot to survivalist, I hope you guys all pack things and save things and have weapons and food and all sorts of stuff. YouTube was trying to tell me Pluto collided with Neptune. The world is about to collide with itself. Pluto didn't collide with Neptune. They can't collide. All right, here we go. Hold on. The longshoreman strike is time to empty all the goods from the stores. You'll find the union has their money in a central bank. They control all police. If you don't think the longshoreman, the union, is not mafia regulated, I don't know what to tell you. It's run by the mafia. Votes to Harris. It's all about the timing, too. Might be a vote, but it's already fixed and in. Arizona and Cali are just the tip of the iceberg to put in place. Swirly's here. What's up? Absolutely, they follow astrology. That's probably have charts on all of us, too. Yeah, they probably do. I wouldn't doubt it. Nobody can read a chart like my astrologer, though. Who's really behind the all-seeing eye? The real money man is. You are always invited to Dublin. I told myself, maybe one day. I mean, I don't talk to my sister because of the things that I talk about, teach, and in general. It's a big sales pitch retail stock trade pile up with groundbreaking waterways with bigger ships coming in. Yes, Tori told us about Aladdin. Good. I've been screaming about it for 2 years. Good. Good. Then it's finally getting out. With bigger ships, bigger cosmic rays of incoming. I hate politics. I do too. I really hate politics, but it's important to know what's going on in the world. Those are the ones arranged through market manipulation. October 7th through the 21st, finished transfer of wealth by 24 to 31. Aladdin wouldn't allow market crash, but would definitely do retirement pension theft. Raven, what do you know about Aladdin, brother? You want to come on real quick and talk? Oh, no, you can't. You have kids, right? You have a full house. All right. AI is or has taken over. It's out of the world with Spaceball invaders. I have a pair of lucky underwear. All right, Jamie. If I ever meet you, I'll sign them. Something similar happened, so here's my ode to this book, to the book. How do you get your books in Australia? You can go to Australia Amazon. To be perfectly honest, I also ship to Australia, but it's going to be a lot more money than just going through Amazon. Either way, it's supporting me, so I'm completely fine. But go to Amazon.au, I think it is, or whatever, and look up Into the Rabbit Hole, or look up my name, Micah Dank. This will be the last election. You think it's happening? Francis Ford Coppola said we will be electing the next emperor. Do you know who Francis Ford Coppola's nephew is? Nicolas Cage. His name is Nicolas Coppola. He changed his name to Nicolas Cage because of that pianist, Cage, Johnny Cage. If you guys have ever not heard of Johnny Cage, you should look into this. He reminds me of Andy Kaufman almost, or something from SNL maybe, when it used to be good. Don't worry, I'm old like all y'all. Francis Ford Coppola's nephew is Nicolas Cage. And Nicolas Cage has been trying to show us in movies the truth. Think of all his movies, Knowing, and 8mm, and Face Off, and just all these movies that he's just been showing you. Nicolas Cage is a woke dude, like awake. And I think that would bleed up to Francis Ford Coppola. So I think that this isn't just listening to like Rob Reiner rip some dumb shit on Trump. I think this is something that you should take seriously. That's just my personal opinion. The longshoreman is striking is empty the food stores in an event 13 times bigger than 9/11. Brother works for, they all have a blackout with anyone not in the know. All the critical retirement funds, they will vote for Harris to protect their retirement. This is what I meant about the illusion of security, guys. But I went to school. I studied hard. I took out loans. I got a job. I did everything I was supposed to. People are going to wake up from this angry dream. Starling can away with a twinkle. In ancient Mesopotamian mythology, the bull of heaven is a mythical beast slain by the hero Gilgamesh. Comments? Yes, that's where it originates. That's where the concept originates in Gilgamesh. Now remember, guys, Gilgamesh isn't the oldest story that's ever been written down. It's not. It's the oldest story that's ever been written down that has been found. There's all sorts of older stuff out there too, and when you watch them with like Gobekli Tepe, they're not excavating it. In fact, what they did was they covered it and they planted olive trees on top of it because olives are sacred and protected there. Anyway, so the bull of heaven is always mentioned, but it's Taurus. It's the anthropomorphization. I don't even think I did that word right. Anthropomorphization of the bull of heaven, Taurus, into a bull from heaven that comes down and Gilgamesh slays. I hope that helps, guys. In the same way that Jesus is the sun in the sky, but all the things that they attribute to him in the Bible, he comes down anthropomorphized into the character. I hope that helps. Do you have any affinity to 13? No. 13 is not a bad number, guys. 13 is not a bad number. 13 begins where 13 became naughty hoo-ha, Halloween, is October 13th, Friday the 13th, 1307. Jacques de Molay and the Knights Templar were destroyed by the Catholic Church. That's where we get Friday the 13th. That's where we get the number 13 being such an evil thing, such a bad thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with 13. In fact, I don't buy that. Other countries have different things too. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one. I know the number 4 is bad somewhere. But if you look into it, you'll see every region has their thing. And that's just dogma. That's no different than religious dogma. That's just dogma. That people don't understand the root and the origination of it, guys. Raven, other than Jordan Maxwell, you all should know Micah is the only other person who helped me consolidate the astrotheology and breakdown of Bible. I send people to his YouTube. Thanks, bud. I know. And you know what? I got a friend, Doug, on Facebook who follows you too, Raven. And he always tells me when you mention me in your podcast or you mention my name, he always shoots me a message. So yeah, let's get together. Let's do something. Let's do something nice, man. Watch the water, Longshore, man. Face off this year, mask off. Yep. You're welcome, Will. Truth in movies. People tell me I'm just reading stuff into the movies. We call this soft disclosure. That's what it's called. Alien. Danette, have you heard of Blow for Shofar? I just watched the one Revelation. They are of the opinion that October 9th. Let me explain how this works, Danette. And I mean this with all due respect to whoever it is that you watch. The reason people get taken down is because they get so full of themselves that they believe that they can actually talk about the end of the world, set a date, and then get people to follow them. I don't know about that, to be honest with you, because every single person that has ever predicted the end of the world, nothing has happened. I don't even give a shit about the doomsday clock. I don't even think that's real. I think that's, to be honest with you, I think that's political. If you remember Revelation as being an astrotheology book, you got to realize that I don't know how else to say this. The words that they use, the surface level understanding of the Torah and the New Testament, right? The surface level understanding is there to hide the real info. So when you punch through the hole of the literal reading of the text, that's when you get all the juicy stuff. I don't care for the tribulation. I don't care for any of that. So what's supposed to basically happen, guys, is Jesus is supposed to come in the sky, and then everyone is going to bow down to him because all knees will bow to Jesus. And then there's a 7-year tribulation where the religious are raptured and they're sent up, and then all sorts of bad stuff happens down here to us. And then after the 7-year, there is a 1,000-year reign of peace. And what does it all mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's not meant to be taken literally. Anyone that's ever predicted the end of the world has been wrong and lost everything. Remember that. I hope that helps, Danette. Like birds on a high wire. This time with a quantum spark. I like the way you think, Danny. Susie, there are no suggest matter experts. All have educated in the enemy of man. They found ancient tech in Antarctica and they have been using it against us. I mean, can't you see why I want you to come on here and talk to me about this stuff? I appreciate you, though. I don't think they found the technology in Antarctica. I think it was Area 51. I think Area 51 is exactly what it is, and it's just a big open secret that no one wants to talk about. That's what I really, really think. I don't think the tech was found in Antarctica. I think there are reptilians, and I think there are other forms of, like Homo Copernicus, maybe, that live there, underground entire areas. That's why they won't let us in Antarctica. Whatever's ancient for the aliens is pretty brand new for us. Remember that. European Union own Göbekli Tepe. Yeah. Do they? The EU? I get so mad sometimes. DP was owned by WEF. So when you're talking about the World Economic Forum too, guys, remember all this push for Russell Brand. Remember this. They have him on camera kissing Yuval Noah Harari on the head. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to watch Russell because I think he's honest, if nothing. But and I would talk to him one day because I think he's an interesting person, but I do not trust him. Mm-mm. Oh my God, if this was all just a movie, then yes, it's all about a movie that people would like to see on a grander scale. Yep. The influencers are getting paid to influence us. Yep. Every second is the end of the world for someone, is their current reality. I feel bad for those people. You couldn't call it bullshit because bullshit makes mushrooms. I have mushrooms. I gotta find a weekend to do them, though. Can any of you let me know when the end of the world is so I can take them? Me and my girl will take them. Raven's here. Hello, brother.
What's up?
How are you, my friend?
I am doing fantastic. How you been?
I've been great. It's good to hear your voice.
Boy, I tell you, the questions that are people at now, folks. I am not able to be in the show and watching the chat at the same time, so you'll have to wait until Micah catches you. All right. I came through, folks. If you don't know, I'm in North Carolina in Cherokee in the mountains, and we came through really well. We had some power flickering. In this area that we're in, we've got like 7 rings of mountains around us. We got like 7, 8 inches less rain than people just east and just west of us. So we actually came out of it better than most, and we didn't lose our power. It just flickered a little bit, but we were down. We had no communication from like Friday morning until like Tuesday is when it kicked back on. Limited, but it kicked back on.
So, can you talk? Oh, I didn't know you were in the area, Raven. Wow.
Oh yeah, I live on the reservation, y'all.
Okay, so talk to me about why people are saying that tires are getting slashed. Why are people talking about for these like supply? Why they're telling them not to bring supplies? Why there's dead bodies in like the tree, in the mud, in the cars, and they don't want to remove them. What the hell is going on over there? What's going on with the lithium and the quartz mines that are right there that the government or BlackRock just bought $90 million to be able to drill for the lithium? Like, tell me everything.
Well, a lot of folks don't realize now. People have brought, anytime they can do something with BlackRock, they'll bring it up. But BlackRock already owned the mines, so they wouldn't really gain much from the damage. They already own the mines. What's happened now is they have no access to them. Mm-hmm. So y'all need to think about that aspect of it. They own the mines and they already had the rights to get it. And now they don't have any access to it because there's no roadways getting up into that area. Some people say, well, with the people off the land, they could mine more. Well, there's not more. They already own the land that has the mines under it. And, if y'all don't remember Pennsylvania, they can go down in one place and because they buy the rights under you, they can literally go down and come right underneath your property, and there's nothing you can do about it. Think about gas and oil companies. So yeah, the lithium mine thing is just, to me, it's just one of those theater of consciousness things. It's a distraction from what's actually going on. Mm-hmm. If you've never been in the Appalachians, it varies. Like down in Georgia, it comes up fairly quick. In Maine, it doesn't look quite the same. Here, we have a lot of really steep valleys. And people build in those valleys. There'll be a stream running down from a spring that comes out of the mountain. But when some places got 30 inches of rain, there was no time for people to get out of those valleys, even if they wanted to, because there's one road out. And that road is right next to the stream that runs downhill. They're saying, I think the last number was 300 and some people dead. I've had one guy say, well, I expect about 500. I expect we will never know because whole runs down valleys were completely washed out before people had time to evacuate. There was just nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They'll probably not. Well, I mean, we know that we have actual reports from people who have been into these areas and have been threatened not to go back into those areas. Because they're taking relief and trying to evacuate people who have medical conditions or need assistance. but there are bodies in trees. Of course, we have these washes. If you've never seen a flood, just think about the aftermath of Mount St. Helens, because all that stuff comes downhill with mud and it just packs and congeals. There's no way to know how many bodies are in that mess, and it may be a very, very long time before they are able to clear those mud sloughs out of the way, or mud sluices out of the way.
Wow. Okay. So, Raven, what is the best way for people to help?
Folks, I don't pull any punches. Do not give any money to the United Way, to Salvation Army, or the Red Cross. All right? Don't. If you don't know the history of those organizations, I'll give you a very good example.
Because that's another hour.
Yeah, well, I'll just give you a really good example. The Red Cross does 90% to their CEOs and their maintenance and their advertising, and 10% or less to people who actually need the help. That is a fact, and there are many, many worse things. There is a really good organization. It's Ryan Hall, y'all, and the All Squad. These guys have been for years going into disaster areas and providing immediate relief of what's needed. And it's a 503c, so you guys can get your tax deductible out of it. That's the All Squad, and all you have to do is look up Ryan Hall. The other thing that I would do is local churches. I mean, literally, local churches are on the ground. But I do have to point out, FEMA went in and confiscated supplies and money that had been raised over in Tennessee. They literally went in and confiscated it yesterday.
What?
Yeah. FEMA went in, high school over there was trying to raise money for people on the Tennessee side who really needed help, money and supplies. FEMA went in and confiscated it and attached it to their TEMA group. TEMA means it can be used anywhere, not where you want it to go. So, yeah, they actually went in and took the money and took the resources that had been donated. So that'll tell you what FEMA's doing.
Okay. I'm trying not to get angry, but
well, y'all, I had to record 2 shows. I did a podcast talking about, from an initiate in North Carolina mountains. I had to delete the first show that I did because my language was so fervent, and you have no idea. I'm part Cherokee and part Irish, and my ire was definitely up, and it still is. We have law enforcement blocking roads. People have ATVs with ATV trailers that can. You don't even have to be on the road. You could ride the side of the hill if you had to. And they are actually blocking them with threats of arrest. And we had a helicopter pilot that was threatened to be grounded and arrested and have his helicopter confiscated.
Do people not realize the kind of world that we live in?
I don't think so. I really don't. I always go back to Ronald Reagan. Everybody liked Ronald Reagan. I liked Reagan. I just didn't like the fact that he had a CIA asset for vice president. But Ronald Reagan said it very carefully and very, very poignantly. He says, if somebody comes to you and says, I'm with the government and I'm here to help, run.
Yeah. It's wild times that we're living in, though, but I think we're finally starting to make a change.
I do too. I think it's one person at a time. I had a conversation with a friend last night, and sometimes we have to remind ourselves, there are 3 priorities that we have. The first priority is people. It should always be people. And if your first priority isn't people, now that doesn't mean everybody. There are people that you cannot prioritize other than be aware that they're around because they're dangerous. But people should be your priority. And then places. Places are kind of where you're at. You may not be there forever, but when you are there, that's your place. And things should always be the bottom of the list.
Yes, well, that is never the case.
I know. But people, even if it's your family, should always be top priority.
Do you think they keep you in this rat race, this maze that you're all hyped up on sugar on, going through over and over and over again? How am I putting this? I just went away. Forget it. I just had it. Just trying
I talk about
maybe like they try and keep you busy with distractions so you don't work on yourself spiritually and take time to read
Exactly.
other things. I'm completely
Exactly.
convinced. It took a while to get out. I'm sorry, but that's what
Well,
I
yeah,
think.
but you know,
I really
I,
think that's the case.
I talk about the theater of distraction, or the theater of consciousness is the old term. Now they've usurped that terminology from back in the day, but the theater of consciousness is all the distractions that they throw at you. They want you busy at work. They want you to have a career, and a lot of people don't realize the word career comes from the word careen. Well, I don't want to careen through my life on somebody else's tracks. Um, but you know, you got to have a career, you got to have the education, you got to have a job, you got to run here and run there and do this and do that, and then they throw television at you. Oh my God! If you want poison, to watch television. It'll poison your mind
That's
so
why I
quickly
always
you won't
tell
even
people,
realize it.
Raven, I always tell people, if you're gonna have a TV, never fall asleep with it in front of you on.
Oh hell
Ever.
no!
Turn it off before you go. You do not understand what is going into your mind for later.
Oh no. Well, and you know, you have the subliminal effects of the strobing, the blue screen. Your TV has a built-in strobe to it. You have the subliminal effects of the light and the coloration. You know, these are, I used to call this advertising magic. It's the use of technology and art to bend you to their will, and they do it constantly with television. Um, but then on the backside of that, you have all the subliminal sounds that you can't hear consciously.
Right.
You do not want to sleep in front of a TV ever. I don't even have television. You know, what I have noticed is the people that I am most able to relate to and the most able to communicate with are people who do not sit in front of a television that's hooked to a satellite or cable. Now, I do have a TV that's hooked to a DVD player. I will never have a Blu-ray in my house, but all my stuff, even my audio from my CDs, which are easy, you know, that's what you get these days, CDs and DVDs. My audio runs through an analog receiver.
Okay.
I don't have anything digital. Now, my phone is a weird thing. I have a program, an app on here that has an analog equalizer, and that's what everything runs through.
You have an app that does that?
Yes, it's an analog. It's called the analog equalizer, and it actually gives you better sound than if you try to use one of the digital equalizers. But you still get the compression. You still get the digital compression, unfortunately. But it gives you analog stereo, so you're not getting any of that digital feed. Pretty cool.
So on your, you know what, Raven, why don't you just share with everybody your YouTube channel? Guys, go subscribe to Raven real quick, because I'm gonna be
Y'all
on the
can't.
show again, and you guys should definitely subscribe to him, because he knows his stuff. He's got great content. So
Y'all can't miss me. It's just Raven Kiefer on YouTube. And then if you're looking for me, I have been very fortunate. I wish I'd have had this when I had my books in print. I've got like 65 podcast repeater sites that pick up my podcasts. I have the No Apologies podcast, which is me. And then I have the No Apologies interviews, and you would be surprised who all's on there. I got Tommy Chong on there. I've got a couple of blues legends on there. I've got artists and creators, and then I also have people who do, you know, historical things like the World Bank and OSS and Gladio. And then I have my Laugh podcast, folks. My Laugh podcast are everything from PG-13 to, oh my God, I can't believe Raven's talking about that. So, you know, be warned. The comedy is my relief from all the crap that Micah and I are dealing with every day, trying to get information out to people.
Yep. Very cool, man. So,
but you'll find me. Just type in Raven Kiefer on your podcast repeater. I know I'm on Podbean and Podcast Addict and Spotify and iHeart. I got 3 iHeart channels now, and I couldn't even do that when I had my books in print.
all right, Raven brother. Shoot me a message. Let me know when you want to go on your channel.
Brother, I'll shoot you a message, and we'll see if we can't get something arranged and get it out sometime in the next week. Folks, appreciate y'all. Micah, I still keep sending people to you because you do astrotheology better than anybody that is actively working today, and I can only think of 2 people that were ever even close.
That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. You guys are just gonna snowball me with love and affection. I'm just never gonna leave. We're just gonna stay at this computer for the next 5 hours. Let's go through some of the comments. They have been underground for so long that they don't look human anymore. I'll bet it. I'll bite. They would be super white, super pale, for starters. They're all lizards down there. Netanyahu mentioned Rome is in America. What he meant. Like Babylonia never ceased. Can you explain? Francisco. Thank you. Yes, I can. Rome is America. Rome is actually 3 places. The Roman Empire never fell. They became the Catholic Church. But aside from all that, there's 3 cities in the world that Rome runs. And you have the Vatican for spirituality. You have the city of London for finance. And then you have Washington, D.C. for the military. So when he physically says that Rome is in America, he's not lying. It's true. It's just morphed. I always like to tell people, when you are in school or when you're on a computer and you're writing, right, you're typing stuff up, you use Times New Roman. That's the one that they use. That's the standard. It's because we're in the New Roman times. That's why. Caesar went on Capitoline Hill, where we have Capitol Hill. The architecture is the same. The obelisks, the Washington Monument. Rome never fell. We have a Senate. We have senators. It never fell. It just became something else. So, Antarctica was found in the 1400s. They found people living there. Why did Kerry go there prior to the 2020 election? Girl, you're like a level above what most people know, I think. Well, that would make sense. Yeah, the Piri Reis map is 1437 or 1532. Yeah, okay. So they found people living there. Yeah, because all the maps were showing that it was land. Why did Kerry go there just prior to the 2020 election? I don't know. All I know is Susie, and I'll just leave it at this. Do you remember at the funeral where they all got envelopes? And in the envelope it said, "I'm sorry, they know everything." Look at what's happening now. No, but seriously, why did Kerry go there prior to the 2020 election? I have no idea. He's the climate envoy. Maybe he went for some climate-y thing. I don't know. I didn't think people were allowed to go there. WEF is a front group. All the ones we know are puppets for the controllers who are underground. I appreciate all points of view. I personally think that when you die, you create your own afterlife, just like your own reality here. That is like one of the most simple but nice things I think I've ever gotten the pleasure to read. I think that's really possible too. I'm almost convinced that religious people are grouped together in like a sort of purgatory waiting room where they have to like deprogram them. Like in my wild dream. Honeybees here. Hey, came across something I wanted your opinion on. It's wild, but some are now saying that ancient Egypt is actually located in USA. Keep seeing this all over social media. Yes, in the Grand Canyon. Yes. Look into why they had random towers. Do you remember those towers that were just found? These little monoliths. Look into those. The mini monoliths. Yes. And there are a ton of Egyptian cities that are our cities too. It's a blend. But yes, and they tend to close it off. It's in the Grand Canyon. It is. Um, just kept digging and they just found hieroglyphs and things like that. Insane. It's what you wrote about, a physicist speaking at the funeral. I wrote that in my book, Danny, because I had to hear that in order to let go of my fear. But that's what the whole religious people are doing, isn't it? Just monetizing on fear of death. So awesome, Raven joined the conversation. He's a good dude full of knowledge. Oh, dude, we actually mentioned you earlier. While everyone's been watching the Nevada desert, nobody's paying much attention to the Utah desert. They're here. Huh. All right, fuck it. You guys strapping in, I'll strap in too. What do we got next? What about the poison in the water? By poison in the water, you're talking about fluoride? There's a book, The Fluoride Deception. You should get it. Read it. Also, get a. I have to do this too, so I'm telling you guys to do something I haven't done yet. But since I told you, I guess I'm in the clear now. So get a reverse osmosis water filter for your sink. Because what comes out of that after it's been processed through that is gold. Jamie says, thanks for coming on, Raven. 200 acres more is being considered for permitting in Gaston County. I saw that too. When did I see that? I saw that this morning. But don't ask Jehovah's Witnesses for any contribution. They're right up the road from me. I pray one doesn't come to the house. I do. I really do. Samaritan's Purse and Cajun Navy are two I would donate to. Thanks, Joe. So, guys, Samaritan's Purse. Alfonso, I'm not going to read all these names. The owners of Fangel Corp, a sugar and real estate conglomerate. Susie, at what point did you send this message? What were you talking? What was being talked about? Oh, never mind. I see it here, Susie. Okay. We all stuck on this hamster wheel. Now, mine's not a hamster wheel. I'm not in a wheel. I'm in a hamster ball, and I'm just running into shit left, right, up, down, everywhere. That's what I'm doing. I haven't watched anything in over 3 years, no movies or TV shows. I find most of it junk, and my mind is way more rich in imagination. I do love listening to teach, like, my God, things that enrich the mind and art. Oh, thank you. Right? I mean, they're distractions. You got everything is set in the world to distract you, but no one is asking what it's distracting from. I don't fucking get it. But Nikki, thank you. Raven has a great voice. Just sub to his channel. Sweet, Parker. So, guys, I'm going to tell you a little thing. Back in like 2012, when I first became a truther for a lot of things, there was one channel that I used to watch all the time. And I can't remember the name of it anymore, and it got taken down because it got too powerful. But what we used to do is have something called a friend bomb. And what that would do is he said that everybody here on this God, was it even, it might have been MySpace even, I don't even know. But he basically said, okay, you are all here and just follow each other. Just all of you. Everybody follow everybody. And he was like, look, you're all like-minded. You're all here for the same thing. So we used to do that, and it got to the point where Facebook in 2012 started limiting the amount of people that you can add to Facebook, to your Facebook at one time. It gave you like a cool-off period. And then even that, it would tell you, do you know this person? How do you know this person? And they would ask you questions. It'll show you like a picture, and they would ask you a question about it. But that's what people used to do. People used to be like, all right, we're all here for the same reason. We all have the higher calling or whatever. We just resonate at this frequency. So let's just exchange information. And that's what I'm trying to kind of hope to do, to be honest with you, with my work and with everything that I'm doing with you guys. I'm just trying to connect people, to be honest, because it makes me really happy to go on like Facebook and scroll through the people that, you know, that were friends through the feed, and then see like someone else and then someone else, but both of them met through me. I love seeing stuff like that. That makes me happy. So if you guys wanted to, you could exchange information or not. But I am on, if you go to my website, debunkmywork.com, and you go, well, basically, you'll have all my social media there. If you guys wanted to follow, or if you just want to come in from YouTube, that's totally fine too. Again, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Let's see here. Orbs know much more than you think. Okay. I'm just starting to understand orbs. Like on a spiritual level. I've seen them. I've seen pictures of orbs. And I'm not talking about airbrush stuff. I held the physical printout of the picture from a bunch of different ones. And it is very clear what they are. It is very clear. They are very real. And they are nothing to be afraid of. Supposedly, I'm from the Addams family. Jamie, who is your favorite YouTuber, Micah? Who would you recommend other than yourself for teaching a younger YouTuber that's just coming up? I would still say Jordan and Santos. I mean, they unlocked my ability to open up my gift with this. And it's really freaking cool to know what you're put here for. And maybe that's what they're distracting you about with all this war and all this stuff. Is that. Oh. The Vatican is also tied with the UN. Commerce, it is called sexual acts. You know what I want to do? I just decided. This just came to me. I've decided. When I die, I want to be cremated and put inside of butt plugs and mailed to the Vatican so that I can ruin their lives. Again. Supposedly they took the body of Gilgamesh to Antarctica. You mean the one they just found, where they think they found the tomb of Gilgamesh? They opened it and took that body to Antarctica? I didn't hear that. I want to hear more. Also in Congress, behind the speaker, to the left and the right, he is flanked by two Roman fascia, from which we get the word fascist. It's on the money, too. Jordan used to talk about this. Micah, what is the conspiracy that is closest to a fact in your point of view? Uh, I mean, can we say false flags? Which one's closest to me? The Titanic being sunk. That's one of them. Hmm, it's a good question. They're all near and dear to my heart, but the Titanic, it makes sense when you understand what it unleashed. Because as they say, you know what they say, right? They say if you're gonna make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs, right? That's what happens. It was a sacrifice too, by the way. These are spiritual sacrifices, by the way. This happened so that it allowed this to happen. It always happens like that. There's 8 cities and towns having the fluoride removed from their waters. Massachusetts is one of them. Stop. Stop a sec. Hold on. Like real monoatomic gold? Or are you being spiritual with it? Twin Towers, Twin Cities. Yes. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Jordan Maxwell also talked about Twin Towers. All right, guys, it's been about 2 hours. I'm going to go do something else. So, it's been real. Thank you to all you guys. This was a pretty big crowd today, and like 99% of y'all stuck with me for 2 hours. So, if you guys like that I go on between like 11:30 to 1, because that's lunchtime, reach out to me on social media. Let me know. Thanks, guys.